Hello everyone. Great to have you here. Thank you for your message already, Eric. Hope all goes well for the group. Thank you. Sadly, I cannot be there, but best wishes to all in chat. Thank you, Eric. That's lovely. Gaylan, thank you for joining. Melvin, fantastic. Oh well, I realise it's been a little while. Hello, Adriel. Thank you for joining. And here today, so I thought, yes, let's do another fold. I hope it's a nice welcome distraction from everything. It's a very grey day as well, so I thought I'd bring along something a bit seasonal. If you can, go and find some paper, obviously. If you can, maybe oranges, yellows, reds, those kind of colours would be good. Grab a pair of scissors. It's a little bit the traditional, the style Mani. It's a bit the style of lovely to have you here. The style of that sort of traditional origami, actually. So there will be a single cut. That's it. Would you like to see what we're going to do? Stephen, lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining. Much appreciated. So I'm thinking about last year I was in Japan, and it was the time only just beginning autumn, believe it or not. Their leaves are only really just beginning to change colour. For us, they're mostly done or part way or almost gone. But I thought I'd save this until the time when people in Japan are experiencing autumn, and just how gorgeous these lovely autumn colours are. This is a bit of a Japanese maple leaf, which is so pretty. So really urging you to go and enjoy those gorgeous, gorgeous colours. You know, whatever your age, there's something really joyful about going and swishing your feet through some autumn leaves. I hope you can do that. Claire, thank you for joining. It's amazing. It's amazing that over such a long period of time that you've come back. Thank you. It is a real little group, isn't it? I know it's strange because we don't see each other, but really do feel from your kind of chats that you're there. So bringing along a autumn fold. I don't know, does anybody, Stephen, you're most likely to know, do you know if this is, I think it could be traditional, but it may not be. It's sort of adapted from the crane, really. I saw this folded. Good morning, Barbara. Thank you for joining. Thinking of you at the moment. Yes, let's think of other things. How many sheets? Just one, unless you want to make more. But yeah, we're just going to make one leaf. This is a single piece of paper. And you can see it's really nice. If you had origami paper, this is yellow on one side and has got other colours, and it sort of really shows through. I will probably use, I'll use just white paper and just quickly add some colour so you can see which side is which. So I did see these decorations in Japan and thought I'd really like to learn to do that sometime. Does anybody know if this is a traditional fold? Have you ever seen this before? Do you know if this is a traditional fold, or is this a more recent discovery, invention by someone? I don't know. Apologies, I keep coughing a bit. It's funny, it's a month later now after COVID for me, but I'm still a bit asthmatic after it. I'm not normally a problem for me at all. I just take a preventer, but COVID has sort of just weakened me a bit at the moment still. Better, but I'm not back to normal yet. So just taking it a little bit easy still. So apologies if I keep coughing. I just keep coughing. Yeah, so I think these will be really nice. So if you can go and find yourself some paper. This actually is a really nice piece of traditional origami paper design that I was given. But it does require just one single cut, which is very much, I think, in the tradition of Japanese origami. That a cut, if it's done mindfully, thoughtfully, is good. I have actually been using these to stick on my door as well. It's really nice, actually, inside to celebrate the seasons. I had some cherry blossom up. It's just not right this time of year, so let's get seasonal. So it's 5 past, so I'm going to get started in just a moment. So yeah, just one sheet needed. And I'm going to start with, in this case, A5, but A4, you could fold it in half. I'm just going to make a square. So if you're still finding materials, that's absolutely fine. Do so. Have any of you made this before? asking, does anybody know where it might be from? I mean, it's something I've seen just shared quite generally. I have to find some scissors. Yes, exactly, scissors. It will be just one cut. A mindful cut, as I like to say. Oh, thank you. Oh, well, Stephen, that's great that you haven't had COVID. This is the first time I've had it, and maybe why I'm a bit slower to get through it. And I think there's maybe the genetic side of, I think it's almost like any weaknesses in yourself will get and make a lot worse, is what I can see of it. So yeah, I'm asthmatic, but it never really bothers me anymore, and I'm on a preventer. But since COVID, I've just felt this sort of wheeziness there, which is really annoying. But presumably with time, I've heard a lot of friends who've had COVID recently. They've said it's taken them a long time to get better. So it's normal. I've just been keeping away actually from the hospital because I don't want to be coughing near patients. I know it'll upset people, understandably. So, yeah, and actually it's good to be strong before you go and do things to help other people. So, right, I'm going to just briefly add a bit of colour to things. This is me just adding a little bit of autumn colours, which are really nice. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I don't think anyone really knows how COVID can affect them. Sometimes it could just be a small thing. Some people it's not. I was just due to get a vaccine because there's staff, that's something we're thankfully offered to protect those vulnerable people. And I was just about to have it, but it happened, and it would have been caught from a school with a child, then they're inevitably going to bring it back. And we've really been paying the price of COVID and long COVID for the last 3 years. So, endless setbacks, but we'll get there. There we go. I feel so much better seeing these colours. And I'll get folding in just a moment, but hopefully this gives you a bit of time to grab the white papers. And we can make our own little gorgeous leaves. Right. Oh, yeah. Actually, I've been upping my dose of the preventer, which I'm sure is a good thing. But it's still not completely got it under control. It will be. I think it's just looking after yourself. So that's what I've been doing. Longer sleeps, not going or traveling much. Just lots and lots of self-care. It will get better. Yeah, obviously it could be a lot worse, but yeah, still it's surprising it's still there more than a month later. So are you ready for me to begin? If you have origami paper, this would be your white side and this would be your coloured. Yeah. So first of all, great. Gonna fold your piece of paper in half to make a triangle. And it really is a modified crane. So it will become quite close to a crane before we start then modifying it. It's very nice. But as I said, I did see this as decorations in Japan, so I'm taking it as it may be traditional. And I found people showing it online, but it's not clear who has invented it, I'm afraid. So I'm going to take one corner and bring it to the other. There we go. I'm doing it as I would be doing for a crane. It's funny, there's many ways you could end up getting to the same spot without getting there. But you've got a little pocket on the sides, little pocket, pop your finger into the bottom and bring it up to make a square. Is this a preliminary base? I don't know. I'm afraid I'm not very, I just don't find it very memorable, those names somehow. I think of it more visually. I just think of this as a square. Yeah, it's a little gathered square or a triangle. There we go. So if you turn to the back, if you at any point need me to show a game, just say in the chat box. Then I just take this, I almost think of it like a sail of a boat, just get that sticking up a bit. So it's not adding any extra lines, but just getting it to stick up. And it's like a little little sail, and again you can pop your finger in, push it up, and it makes a square. I know most of you will be very familiar with doing this. Oh, that's an idea, Stephen. Yes. Yeah. I quite like a modified crane. It feels like it's part of that territory, doesn't it? Traditional, but there we go. So it's kind of open at the top, gathered at the bottom. Like the crane, the outside open edge along that middle line. Do that one side. And then the same on the other. So Barbara, did you manage to get to sleep, or it must have been a very weird night? I guess it's early, isn't it, for you? Is it 6 o'clock? There we go. That's it, 6 a.m. Very early to rise. Are you working today? Is it a working day for you? There we go. Turn to the back, outside to the middle. Well, it's lovely. It's been such a group for such a long time, isn't it? We've been through all sorts of times together. Well, congratulations. We've worked very hard for a long time, Barbara. Wow, and still getting up at 6. Was it for this that you did that? Oh, what were you teaching, Barbara? What's your subject? If that's okay to ask or answer, don't worry if you don't want to as well. You do not have to. There we go. It's not looking. Yep, that looks right. So, like the crane, that bottom. Oh, lovely. That bottom. So you get to teach all sorts of things, don't you? We have done this bottom triangle. Just lift it up. Give it a fold. And then undo it. And then I always like to think of opening a little present and holding that triangle, grabbing the top layer. And it's just like we're making a crane, isn't it? And bringing it down, and then bringing in the sides, and just having to slightly reshape the lines over here. There we go. Like so. And then we'll do the same on the back, holding that triangle, opening up the flaps, and then bringing this down, and rolling in the sides. There we go. I just felt it would be nice to do something to mark the seasons. So actually, I saw these origami maple leaves outside. I guess maybe like a play group just by the kind of hospital area that I was staying in Tokyo, and it was lovely to just decorate it. It was obviously seasonal, but encouraging origami there, which is lovely to see. Right, I always think you've got some leggy bits, so let's turn the leggy bit down to the bottom and the wing bit at the top, so we have it all the same way round. Are you ready for the next step? I'll wait until a few of you start to say yes. Good, cool. like the leaf, Galen. Thank you. Great, ready. So I want you with the back wing, as it were, at the back, just bringing that down. I'll just do that again. So you've got the sort of two leggy bits, two wings at the top. So the back wing bring down. And then these front two leggy bits, flappy bits, bringing those up. There we go. That's it. Lovely. So we're going to work next on these two flappy bits at the top, and they actually have a pocket on the outside. So there's a little pocket on the outside. You can put your finger in down to the bottom. I'm still finding it harder to demonstrate because it's not a mirror image on the screen, just to say. So I keep doing it the opposite way to the way I want to. But these flappy bits do have a pocket on the outside. So I'm putting my finger in and then pushing it out. So it's sort of that kind of an angle. Actually, it's almost like as if it's the top of a star. And it's not quite symmetrical because this area is narrower than this area. So do it on one side and then to match on the other. Again, popping your finger into that pocket on the side and doing it so they sort of match. Not quite sure they're matching that well. The drawers have needing to see what I'm doing, I think. Did you get how to do that? So it's like that. Again, I'll wait for you. There we go. We're about to do our mindful cut. It also reminds me of the prawn as well. I love the shrimp. Which involves that cut. I always remember it when it's one with a cut. So I think we're allowed one. So we're going to do a cut here, along the middle. The joys of trying to do it, but it's not the mirror. But basically along that middle line. Let me see. Up to the middle. There we go. So just separated those two. So cut there. And then with one of these cut ones, you lift it up and sort of push it out. So it's at this sort of an angle. And if you do one, then do the other, lifting it up and out. And I guess obviously so they sort of match position-wise, something like that. Is that working for you? There we go. And then let's turn to the back. So we're going to work on shaping this bottom one. It's clearly too long at the moment. So if we take this point and bring it, I think, to about that kind of point, but keeping it lined up. Let me show you again. It's because I get in a twist if I look into the camera. So I folded it from outside here down, keeping it lined up at the bottom, but so that this is lined up to about that point. Can you see? It's beginning to get the right length, but it's not a point. So to make it a point, you take this corner, push it down to line up along that bottom edge. So I took that point and I pushed it down to line up with the bottom edge. So it should make something like that shape as a result. So that second fold sort of holds it down a bit. I'll do the same on the other side. So taking this, and I'm going to line it up about that position, but along the bottom edge. There we go. And it's taking then, it's clearly not a point. I want to make it a point, so taking that corner and pushing it down so it lines up at the bottom to make a point there. So if you turn on the other side, you can see it's now shaped a little bit more. How's that going? let me know when you're ready for the next step. Great, thank you, Adrienne. Okay, cool. So next we're going to work on the sort of stem. So taking that flap, which is sort of on the back, and pushing that down. It's really neat, this, actually. Yeah. And then what we're going to do is take this bottom edge and bring it along the middle line, which will narrow it up. But you'll see quite soon it will contribute in other ways too. So I'm going to take this bottom edge and line it up along the vertical. The outside, and then lining it up along the vertical, and then doing the same on the other one. Again, take it from the outside, lining up on the middle. Do say if it's not clear. As I said, I'm afraid it's harder for me now to demonstrate, unfortunately. There we go. So there's sort of just one last thing to do, actually. Are you ready for the final step? Oh, this is on the back of a leaf now. Great, thank you. So just one last step, which is to take this bottom edge, which sticks out a bit far, push it right the way along that vertical middle line. As you do it, it will shift this other area, and you can squash that down, and it will add a nice little shape. So what happened was I took this outside line, I pushed it into the middle, and then that pushes down that area, which will add an extra little detail on the front. So if we do the same on the other side. Again, taking this outside, which is too wide, pushing it right up to that vertical line, the middle line. And as you're doing it, it's beginning to shift that other line. And then you can press that down. Like so. So those two flaps get added. There we go. And if you turn it round to the front, hopefully you have got a lovely autumn maple leaf decoration. I've been putting up lots, kind of scattering them on my door, just putting them up with blue tack inside the house, and they look really nice. Just bringing a little bit of seasonal colour. Yeah, did it work? Yay! You're very welcome. You're very welcome. As I said, was looking at things that I saw in Japan and thought it'd be really lovely. I really wanted to learn them, so it's been nice to think back to that time. It worked wonderful. It actually does look quite leafy, doesn't it? And isn't it lovely that it comes from a crane again, and it has a lot of detail to it, actually, doesn't it? Yeah, perfect for cards. So enjoy. I hope that's been a nice little happy time. I hope you can fold some more leaves for yourselves or for others. I guess it's not too long before we'll start festive folds as well. Excellent. Oh yeah, please do. I'll be putting up a video as well soon, but you'll be able to use this video too. So look after yourselves, everyone, and keep well, and best wishes, and look after yourselves. Bye bye.